Well, good morning. On a cracking autumn day we've got here today. Good autumn days means two things at the moment. Well, today they actually mean several things. One, we've got to get a haircut. We can be pushed up on top at the minute. Two, we want to get some photos. We're looking for a nice photo to use on the label cover of a new song that we're working on, so watch out for that one. And of course, the other things that are happening is we need to check beehives, make sure they're right for the winter, and spraying blackberries. So that's what today's going to bring. We're going to get out and check a couple more hives, make sure they've got stalls and everything's ready for the winter. One nuc in particular, we're going to get into that, check it. Hopefully it's set up nicely. It's been a work in progress. And then once the day sort of extends a bit and gets a bit later and cools down, we'll go and hook into some blackberries. Anyway, we'll finish a coffee and then we'll go get into it. Is there anything in the world more satisfying than when you get the smoker going well? Alright, first of today's inspections, we're at this little nuc I mentioned earlier. We'll open it up, see how it's going. Hopefully she's pretty full. It's probably a bit late in the year. I don't want to go putting it into a full hive now, but hopefully at least it'll be full up, ready to go, going into the winter. Anyway, we'll crack it open and we'll have a look. So this one, it's actually a feeder that's sitting on top there. I'll leave that on as extra insulation. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These bees have done exceptionally well since I saw them about a month ago. So this is a 6-frame nuc, and we have got every frame is actually full. They have done exceptionally well since we saw them about a month ago. I was actually thinking they might have to been combined before winter, but they've done very, very well. All right, let's see if we can open them up, and the temperament is outstanding. Just check that we've got stores in here, not just bees. Okay. So that's interesting. Lots of bees, not a lot of stores though. So we've got a bit of honey that we've damaged the comb there, and a bit of pollen around, but not heaps. We'll trim up the walls a bit. So same again. A little bit of honey, a bit of pollen, a little bit of brood there still to hatch, not a lot. And it looks like we're just going to keep finding more of the same. I'm just coming out of this one. No, so they've built it. It's just done. So we've got a little bit of brood. Brood patch here. And then a little bit of honey. Haven't milled that very straight. I reckon I saw the queen there a second ago. I did see the queen. Here she is in here. Yeah, there she's there. I'll just grab my pen and give her a dot. Alright, pen hasn't cooperated, but there we go. Hopefully we can see that dot. We'll just get her back down here. What a lovely quiet queen. I'm not going to bother going through the last couple of frames in this hive and just disturbing them unnecessarily. We know that they're low on nectar and honey. They've got an ample amount of pollen. So what we're going to do, we'll put the feeder on, and then tonight or tomorrow we'll make up some feed. Once it cools down, we'll come and put it in. The beauty of this particular hive design is that the feeder works as a separate lid. So we can come out after dark, or once it's cooled down, the bees are all back in bed, take the actual lid off. There's still a lid on there, it's insulated, doesn't let the heat out. We can fill it up with feed, put the lid back on, the bees are right to go. All right, so that's our next plan for this hive. We'll tidy him up for now, and we know we'll be back in the next little while to give them some feed. So frames are all back in. Bang the feeder back on. Lid on. We're done. All right, on to the next one. So we're at the our second hive inspection for the day. For those that saw earlier, we did the little nuke. This hive here's been since one of our original hives. This was the first successful external cutout we did. This one came out of a tree on a nature strip in town. Anyway, we'll get into this one and see what we find. See that they're bringing in a bit of pollen, which is nice. Let them know we're coming in. So this one, over the last couple of years, I've left it as a double brood box for the winter. We'll just see what we find today. We've got lots of bees, so that's very good. Don't worry about this box just yet. Very well stuck down. We'll have to lift up some of these. I think all the frames might be stuck. There's a little bit of honey on that one. I think this should go well. These beetle traps off for now. Done their job. Rebait them next year. No, that's probably 80% full. Only half on that side. That's probably 90% full. Now we've taken the beetle traps out, we find beetles. You won't be any more of a problem. We can see why we couldn't lift them. They have got bridges to comb across down there. And you can see the comb on the bottom there, so they've bridged it down to the next frame, the next box. We know what that in there. Alright, that should be freed up now. So we might just let it fall around. That way we can take that off. Still a few in there, but not too bad. Different. Alright, let's have a look in this top super. There's a good number of bees. And we've got we've got good coverage of capped honey. Even better on that side. We'll leave that one out for a minute. Set it over there so they can walk back up and go back inside if they want. So we need to tidy up some of this propolis. Another one. Good amounts of honey. The side's even full. Alright, we got it. A little bit of honey on that one. So this is where the original frame. Still got the stick in from the tree. Tidy it up a little bit. Make it in easier. And as we go along, we're getting a similar pattern where the top of the frames are nice and well stocked. Bottoms of the frame have got pollen and whatnot in them. So we'll just check through a few more of them and then we'll squeeze down the bottom. Try and tidy everything up as we go. I want to keep some of this propolis separate. Winter coming, we might have a bit of time to try and see if we can't make some things out of it. It's one of the extra byproducts. It's quite useful. I'm not going to need to wait to it. There's a lot of uncapped. Right, so the next one, so we've got the same again, and I'm thinking that's what we're going to find all the way across. Oh, that's a good one. Probably 90% full, that one. Same on both sides. Alright, so the weather has cooled down a bit and we've got a bit of a breeze come up, so we've given the bees away for this afternoon. We'll come back and have a quick coffee with me mates, and then we'll go and get on with this afternoon. We'll just make up a bit of for the polynuc, and we'll try and get that in tonight. Hopefully it's cooled down enough. We did have a look at the second hive. You may have noticed it ended fairly abruptly, and you think I would learn to get a spare battery for this camera. But anyway, it was going really well too. He's got plenty of stores. We've boxed it down. We're going to leave it as a double brood box for the winter. I did a quick alcohol wash on some bees out of that box just to see how we're going for Varroa. Still no signs of them, so that was a win. So I will leave it as a double, and they'll be nice and strong, ready to go for the spring next year or next season. Alrighty, we'll go get on with the afternoon. Might go spray a few blackberries, and we will catch you on the next one.